Red, White, and You is sponsored by Amazon.
I've been looking at too.
On our ongoing campaign series, Red, White, and You, a trend that could have a big impact on how many people actually vote next Tuesday.
Let's go to NBC investigative correspondent Ronan Farrow, who's been looking into this. Hi, Ronan. We've been hearing a lot about this.
Morning, guys. Yeah, I think this is going to touch a nerve with a lot of people. According to one recent survey, 1 in 5 voters lives in a state that requires photo ID to vote, but don't know it. In this election cycle, the situation has gotten a whole lot more complicated. A wave of new laws making it tougher than ever just to cast a ballot.
I just felt so stunned and disenfranchised and angry. I should be able to, go to my middle school 2 blocks from my house and be able to cast my vote just like every other American.
Sharda Hanamadas lives in Wisconsin. She's a mother of 3 and a public school teacher. And this year, she was told she wouldn't be able to vote.
I voted in every election since I was 18 years old.
But this year, a new voter ID law took effect in Wisconsin, limiting the ID you can use at the polls. Sharda is an American citizen who emigrated from Ireland when she was just 6 weeks old. She has an Illinois driver's license, but not a Wisconsin-issued photo ID or current passport. The DMV said she needed naturalization papers, which U.S. Immigration Services told her would cost $345 and take many months to get. Sharda struggles to make her teacher's salary cover treatment for her twin daughter's cystic fibrosis. It was too much.
I'm heartbroken.
This election, 14 states have new voting laws, 8 of them limiting the kind of ID you can use.
It varies from state to state. In Texas, they accept concealed weapons permits for voting, but they don't accept student ID cards.
Dale Ho, the director of the ACLU's Voting Rights Project, says about 10% of registered voters don't have the right kind of ID.
Well, they're disproportionately poor people, people of color, a lot of students who maybe come in from out of state.
I'm trying to get a Wisconsin ID so I can vote. Okay. I don't have my birth certificate, but I got everything else.
In September, a voter advocacy group recorded a Wisconsin DMV turning away this resident, Zach Moore, who's homeless.
I'm trying to figure out the other process, like how long would that take? 6 to 8 weeks. Disappointed at the government. Guess they're trying to keep people from voting, I guess.
Zach had a social security card, pay stubs, and an Illinois ID, but not a birth certificate. That entitled him to a temporary voter ID under Wisconsin law, but Zach was repeatedly told that wasn't an option. And when we showed students at nearby University of Wisconsin-Madison the list of valid forms of identification, some were surprised. Do you have one of those forms of ID with you on campus?
No. The only thing I have is a passport, but that's at home.
I do not have one of these forms of ID.
I do not, actually.
On campus, no.
Molly McGrath of the voter advocacy group Vote Riders is pushing back against the laws.
New voters have to learn about the law and what ID they need to show. It's a learning curve for everyone.
She helped record Zach and others being turned away from registration, stories that led a federal judge to order an investigation. So far, courts have struck down or narrowed voter ID laws in 7 states, finding they discriminate against minorities. One judge writing that in North Carolina, the new provisions target African Americans with almost surgical precision. But the laws have numerous defenders.
In our state, we have a photo ID requirement. We don't make it easy to vote, hard to cheat.
But you got to get those ballots. Some places they probably do that 4 or 5 times.
We've seen it with in-person fraud. The voter rolls are not pristine.
Cleta Mitchell is a conservative lawyer and activist.
You can have people showing up and they don't present ID. So how does anybody know whether or not there was fraud committed?
There are conservatives who say this is necessary. This is preventing fraud.
The most recent comprehensive study of voter impersonation found that between 2004 to 2014, there were 31 credible allegations of voter impersonation at the polls.
31.
31 in a period in which over 1 billion ballots were cast. I mean, you're literally more likely to get struck by a lightning bolt than to have someone impersonate you at the polls.
Ho says the data shows voters targeted by these laws are overwhelmingly Democrats, giving some politicians a different reason to defend them.
Hillary Clinton is about the weakest candidate the Democrats have ever put up, and now we have photo ID, and I think photo ID is going to make a little bit of a difference as well.
If I could say one message to politicians who are supporting these voter ID laws, I would say, let me vote. I'm an American. I've earned my right to vote. Let me vote.
After weeks of lobbying from Vote Riders, Sharda had a breakthrough this week. The DMV saying they would make an exception to their rules and give her a temporary voter ID. But she says no one should have to fight to vote the way she has. And according to the data, a lot of people never win that fight. A study by the Government Accountability Office showing that states with these laws see a drop in turnout of about 1 to 2 percentage points. Guys, that may not seem like a lot, but in a lot of close states, that could be enough. Tens of thousands of people to swing the race.
So you're going to make a phone call. You got to go online, find out exactly what's required in your state.
Right. But for certain people, some homeless people who don't have proper identification, disproportionately it's people of color, as we mentioned, there are very serious obstacles to getting these forms of ID.
Timely story, Ronan. Thank you very much. By the way, you can see more of our Red, White, and You series exclusively on the NBC News app on Amazon Fire TV.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.